Shit, daddies, what's up, guys? Intoxication catch a video today. Alright, guys, in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be going over how to master the Havoc, because a lot of people have been using this weapon a lot more lately, ever since the buff of the gun, and honestly, a lot of people are also saying it's overpowered in a sense. But let's talk about how you can master the Havoc without the turbocharger and even with the turbocharger. But anyways, guys, before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. You drop that thumbs up, and then you comment and you let me know what you think about the video and what you guys think about the Havoc and Apex Legends all together. But anyways, guys, much love once again. Let's get right into this. Now, the Havoc has been a delightful, weapon to use for myself, because I like to dominate Skull Town. I like to have another weapon that shreds. And ever since the buff of the Havoc increasing the ammo size, the clip size, the magazine size, whatever, and it's made the gun a lot better in my opinion. Now, a lot of people have been asking, that aren't as good with it, how can I get better with it? Are there any tips to, get better with it? Anything of that sort? And here's a few of them today. So, for instance, you're just now landing at Skull Town. You see a Havoc right in front of you, and you're debating on picking it up because you're not the best with it. This is what you need to do next time this situation happens. Pick up the Havoc, and then, for instance, people always have the problem with the wind-up, because without the turbocharger, there is a wind-up on the weapon. Before you see people and you go guns blazing in at them, what I normally do is, if there's normally a wall separating me, a corner, or even just some type of obstacle, separating me from that enemy, before I turn and I am actually in front of that enemy, I will start to pre-fire, and that basically is just holding down the right trigger. Of course, I'll be aimed up too, but if you pre-fire this weapon before you go charging, guns blazing, shooting at people, you won't have to wait for that wind up, and that will also put you at an advantage because you'll already be firing your weapon coming around the corner. Now, when you pre-fire this weapon, a lot of people are not going to know what to do. They're going to see an energy weapon. They're going to see an energy weapon coming at them full force, and they're not going to really want to challenge that. They're going to try to run away 9 times out of 10, and this will get you a lot more knocks. It'll get you a lot more kills, and it will help you get better when using the weapon without a turbocharger. Now, my next tip is this: whenever you are in an enclosed, basically like an environment, like a hallway, for instance, Skull Town, how they have all those hallways and everything like that, instead of aiming down your sights when you're down those little slim hallways, hip fire. I've noticed this, especially in my own gameplay. Whenever I'm hip firing down these small little crevices, hallways, all this type of stuff, I'm hitting more shots and I'm actually more accurate, and they're freaking out a lot more, and I have more control over my aim than what they do whenever they're just aiming down sights and panicking. So whenever you're hip firing down these hallways and everybody's up close and personal, you're getting a lot more shots. You're putting a ton, and I mean a ton, of damage out, and you're not having to worry as much as they are. So trust me, guys, try hip firing a lot more whenever you're in small, enclosed areas, especially with the Havoc, and you will notice a huge performance upgrade with this weapon. My next tip that I want to give to you guys is, a lot of people are using this weapon wrong in so many different ways. This weapon is in no means a long-range weapon unless you're using the select fire attachment on it, but who really honestly uses that nowadays? So we're not really going to be talking about that attachment with it. We're just talking about the Havoc as a gun in general without the select fire attachment. And this weapon is not used for a long-range weapon, so stop trying to beam people from across the map, because just you see some popular YouTuber or streamer doing it, it doesn't mean you should do the same thing, because 9 times out of 10 they're just doing it because they're just trying to basically just get a kill and be like, oh my god, wow, woo, anything like that. So use this weapon like it should be used. This gun is a mid-range, a close range, everything like that type of weapon. It is not a long-range type of weapon. Now, that's my biggest tip to you guys, is learn exactly what kind of ranges you should be using this weapon. Another thing that I keep on seeing people do as a mistake, they don't reload their weapon after they basically get a squad wipe or a kill or anything like that. They basically just switch weapons and they wait until the last second. They're like, oh fuck, I should have reloaded. Always make sure you reload your weapon after you're basically done using it, or if you notice basically you're at half a magazine, everything like that. Make sure you guys are reloading your weapons out there, because that makes a huge difference as well. Now, another thing, guys, for a sight for this weapon, you don't really want to use anything that's too much of a sight. Like, you don't want to use a 3-times sight. You don't. Sometimes I'm even questionable about a 2-times bruiser on it. What I normally go for whenever I'm using the Havoc, I normally go for the 1-time HCOG sight, and it's because it has the best peripherals and it is the best balanced sight whenever it comes to using this weapon. Now, another thing, guys, whenever it comes to mastering the Havoc, you do want to have a strong secondary weapon. That way, for instance, if you have to switch immediately, you have something dependable to rely on. Because yes, the Havoc is good, but for instance, if you're in the middle of a gunfight and stuff like that, and you're catching yourself having to reload, but you don't have the time to reload, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do what? Switch weapons. So, with that being said, you do want to have a strong secondary weapon as, you know, your secondary, that for a powerful combo. And the best weapon for me, personally, guys, would be the R99 with the Havoc, because these two weapons are very, very powerful, and the R99 shreds just like the Havoc. It has a fast fire rate, everything of that sort. But my only thing I want to tell to you guys is, whenever you're coming to this combination of guns, make sure your R99 has a purple extended mag or a blue extended mag, because if it doesn't, then you're just going to be in the same boat as you are with the Havoc in the middle of the fight. But anyways, guys, that's my tips for you guys for like getting better with the Havoc, you know, playing better with the Havoc, having a better combo with the Havoc, everything of that sort. So make sure you guys comment and let me know what you think about, you know, the combinations I've given you, the tips that I've given you, you know, anything of that sort, anything else you want to get, like, know about any other weapon, no matter what weapon it may be. Put it down in the comments below. But anyways, guys, much love once again. Peace!